Hey guys, what's going on? Got another video for you. This is going to be last week's coin shop finds because I just haven't had enough time to make a video. But, last week I went in a little bit different direction than normal. I didn't go out of the 30X bin. I kind of looked around and found some different stuff. So, these three coins right here, the 1923 Peace Dollar, the 1902 VF20 Details Barber Dime, and the 1843 F12 Details Barber Dime. I paid $50 for all three of these in a bundle. So let's check out the 1923 Peace Dollar. It's graded by AACGS, which I'm assuming is a grading service that's long been out of business, but for all I know, maybe they still are taking submissions. But when coin grading first became popular, there was a ton of different grading services and a lot of them just didn't make it. But this is graded MS62, and I think this is actually really nice for the grade. That's why I bought it. The reverse has a nice burgundy tone around the rim, or around most of the rim anyway. The word peace is almost completely covered with that burgundy color. The luster is really strong. There's not too much chatter in the fields. Got a nice cheek. Just a really strong 1923 Peace Dollar. So I wasn't too dissuaded by the grading service. That would be, this would be considered not a reputable grading service. And if you went to sell this, a lot of people would not really put any value on the grade or on the holder. But, I do like vintage holders, and sometimes I'll buy something just because of the holder if I like the coin as well. But some people do buy the holder, not the coin, unfortunately. So I'd probably get a hard time if I went to go sell this as an MS62. But in my opinion, it is a nice uncirculated Peace Dollar. And that's why I bought it. So that was a nice pickup. Here's the Barber Dime. It's a VF20. It says it's cleaned and damaged. When I saw this, my initial thought was I was going to break it out and put it in the album. I got to go look through and see if I don't have... First of all, I got to look at the album and see what the 1902 dime looks like. See if it's as nice as this. And if it's not, I'm going to go look around and see if I don't have one that's nicer than this before I crack this out. But there's the Barber Dime. And here's the third coin in that little $50 bundle. It's a 1843 seated dime. This has very nice details. It was cleaned, but you can make out all the letters in Liberty. You can see the shield. There's a decent amount of definition in the figure there, Lady Liberty. There's the reverse. Not a bad coin for all three of these. I paid $50, like I said. I thought that was a decent deal. This caught my eye. Cat Bust Dime. Love Token. So if you check out the reverse, it was or is a Cat Bust Dime. I know there's a giant mark right smack dab in the middle. But it is a love token. And it is a Cat Bust Dime. So that to me is really cool. You can see there it has an M on it, which does have some significance to me, which, the cool factor with that, I had to buy it. Paid $15 for this. I wish it didn't have that big mark right in the middle, but it's still cool. I was glad to pick that up. So the next items I'll show you, I did get out of the 30X bin. This, I was very happy to find. It's a mint set. 1953. Uncirculated. I really like that Franklin half dollar, the amount of luster that it has on it. I like the wheat scent too. It's cool to find these old enough to have the wheat scents in them. You can see the Washington quarters got a little bit of color there around the ring. And they're all just really great condition coins. So for 30X, I'll take this set every day of the week. It's just very cool. I was really impressed with the amount of luster on that Franklin. And really all of them, but you could see the Roosevelt dimes got some color to it also. So this came out of the 30X bin. Very cool. And then you'll see I found a mint set, Philadelphia mint set, 1960. That's why I mentioned a moment ago I like to find them with the wheat scents in them, because I think 58 was the last year for the wheat scent. But you know, you can find these in the regular junk bin, sometimes even in the envelope, and sometimes even sealed in the envelope. But, you know, with the prices of junk right now, anytime I could find, you know, uncirculated, nice stuff like that, I'll grab it. And then I found this Walking Liberty half dollar in the 30X bin. This is AU. You know, it's just a really nice Walking Liberty half. You know, it's got some original mint surfaces to it still. This could potentially even be like an AU plus. I don't believe it's uncirculated, but choice AU, I guess you could say. So I got that. That was really nice. And then last, just a Washington quarter that I caught my eye. This is a nice one. This is low grade uncirculated. Nothing incredibly special about that Washington quarter. But like I said, whenever I see uncirculated stuff in the bin, I'll usually grab it. I was really happy with how I did on these three together. And this piece dollar is just, it's a really nice uncirculated piece dollar. So that was cool to find at a reasonable price. So that's going to be it for today. I got another Coin Shop Finds video coming, so stay tuned. Later, guys.